When we talk about abolitionism, it's easy to think of distant places, America, the Caribbean, or Westminster. But in the 1830s, people here in Dumbarton and the Vale of Leven were actively raising their voices against slavery. A powerful local example comes from February 1837. On Thursday the 2nd of February, a public lecture on American slavery was held in the United Secession Church in Dumbarton High Street. The speaker was George Thompson, one of the most prominent abolitionists of the day, and the meeting was chaired by the church's minister, Reverend Andrew Somerville. The response was extraordinary. Those present unanimously agreed to send a remonstrance, a formal protest, directly to the citizens of the United States of America, condemning slavery as immoral and unjust. Just days later, on the 6th of February, another meeting was held in the Relief Church in Bon Hill. I'm standing beside the Dumbarton Schoolhouse, built in 1835. Just a few years later, there was a meeting across from here in a church where the people of the Vale of Leven decided that slavery was not on. They were going to write a formal letter of complaint to the American people, saying that slavery was immoral and unjust. In total, over 4,000 people put their names to this document. The people of the Vale and surrounding areas did not plead politely. They challenged slavery head-on, and their impact reached far beyond Scotland. In April 1837, the leading American abolitionist newspaper, the Liberator, published the document in full, praising the support shown from what it called the beautiful Vale of Leven. There were of course complications and contradictions at play. In the late 18th century and early 19th centuries, what is now West Dumbartonshire and the River Clyde was deeply connected to the Atlantic three-way trade system. Tobacco, sugar and cotton flowed through the area, creating wealth that depended on enslaved labour overseas. Communities along the river, including Dumbarton and the Vale of Leven, were part of that wider system, whether through trade, shipbuilding or manufacturing. Textile workers in places like the Vale of Leven were aware that the cotton they processed came from slave plantations. Some even supported boycotts of slave-produced sugar and goods, using everyday choices as a kind of form of protest. When Frederick, an ex-slave who had escaped bondage in 1838, first visited Scotland, he spoke to a huge supportive abolitionist crowd and praised Dumbarton and the Vale of Leven for their principled stand against slavery. When he returned, however, in 1846, asking the Free Church to give back large donations received from American slave owners, some turned against him, making it hard for him to get accommodation or even find places to speak in public. Another local man of note was John Murray of Bowling. Living on the banks of the Clyde, he was well aware of the wealth that came from slavery, all part of the plantation economies that flowed into Britain. He spoke at public meetings and supported petitions and helped keep the abolitionist ideas alive among working people, not just the elite. Overall, the area supported the abolition of slavery, but the paradox of pain and privilege did not go unnoticed.